Originally,
Yeah, this is the chair.
1609 was a large chair carved in the form of a reclining woman that would detect when anyone in an unknown radius around it needed to sit
See,
down.
I
and
don't
didn't have
know
a
why they
comfortable
needed to
seat
destroy
nearby.
this. I guess there's no exception when it
Chair
comes to
would then
GOC, huh?
teleport to them and remain there until someone else needed a seat. This was the extent of its anomalous properties.
this is
The
harmless.
GOC managed to capture it and send it through a wood chipper. As a teleporting
Why
chair
wood chipper, bro?
easily
You could just
risk
burn
breaking
it
the mission of secrecy
or melt
held
it,
by the
like
GOC.
put it on the melter. Alright, this one's by the Exploring series, and it's exploring the SCP Foundation, the Global Occult Coalition. Pretty much this is the GOC, right? The rival, or like the other side of SCP Foundation. I think they're worse than the SCP Foundation. We already know how SCP Foundation works, or how they do things. And I heard that GOC is worse than them. So we'll see how worse they can get. Alright, let's start.
The Global Occult Coalition. One of the most common questions people ask when discussing dangerous SCPs is, why doesn't the Foundation just destroy it? In some
I guess
cases,
GOC
it
does that,
seems like a good
right?
question, as it's strange that the Foundation would go to such lengths to contain something so dangerous when they could just kill or destroy it.
I'm saying.
The answer
But
varies
sometimes there's
depending on
like
the
consequences
SCP,
for that, right?
such as the Foundation has tried and failed to destroy it, or more broadly, it's just not the Foundation's way to destroy SCPs, as they are focused on securing things.
Which makes sense,
But what if
actually.
there was a similar organization that didn't quite follow the same rules, and did want to destroy these dangerous anomalies? This organization would be called the Global Occult Coalition.
Alright, these guys are just straight
The
savages,
GOC
right?
is its own part of the SCP universe, and someone could quite easily enjoy the SCP universe without ever reading much about them. However, there are a number of SCPs contained or known to the Foundation that have a link with the GOC, as well as a large number of tales related to them, far more
Let's
than I
see,
can
let's
cover
see.
in this video. The purpose of this video is to just give you a solid understanding of who the GOC are and how they operate, so that you can continue learning more about them on your own. The first main event linked to the founding of the GOC occurred in 1882.
1882. A bunch
when
of
a group
wizards.
German occultists managed to capture and destroy an energy entity that was being worshipped as a god by several Semitic tribes thousands of years prior. The destruction of this entity resulted in a psychic backlash in the area, causing feelings of nihilism in certain sensitive individuals, notably philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche, who wrote about God being dead, referring to the entity. This leftover energy was apparently going to be utilized by members of Nazi Germany during World War II to complete an occult ritual known as the Rite of Solomon. Details during this time are sparse, but the event sparked the Seventh Occult War, although practically nothing is known about the prior 6, and afterwards led to the founding of the Global Occult Coalition in order to prevent future
GOC.
similar events. Of course, the SCP Foundation already exists during this time, but they mostly act independently of any governmental body and have very little oversight. The Global Occult Coalition, on the other hand, grew out of a desire from the United Nations to have their own organization devoted to protecting the world from the paranormal.
Is this like a government-funded
Since no single
organization?
nation could be trusted with the secretive handling of anomalous objects and creatures, the GOC was formed from the cooperation of 108 different paranormal organizations, including the Bavarian Illuminati, the Knights
Damn, the
Templar,
Illuminati on that? Knights
and the
Templar too?
United Church of Satan.
There's a
These
church for
organizations
Satan?
work with the GOC to cover a broad field of the anomalous and paranormal.
I know
The
that
United
there was
Nations fund the
people
organization,
worshipping Satan. I
as
didn't
long
know
as
there was
is
like an
a
actual
degree of
church for that.
oversight from them. The GOC's mission statement, then, covers 5 different goals. Primarily, their first and most important mission is to protect the human race from any threats outside of the norm. Secondly is to conceal the knowledge of these threats from humanity to avoid panic and anarchy. Third individual humans will be protected during the course of GOC operations, unless this mission interferes with the first two. Fourth is the destruction of paranormal threats, as their existence goes against the first three missions, and no unnecessary risks will be taken to ensure their survival. Finally, the fifth mission is education, as GOC make every effort to learn more about the paranormal, unless it goes against any of the earlier missions. It's pretty clear from these mission statements how much the GOC differ from the Foundation.
Yeah, they're not.
Their logic and intent
instead of securing them
sound.
or like locking them up, they'd rather kill them,
The GOC
right?
operates through three separate divisions: physics,
Psych.
and Ptolemy. The physics division handle the actual investigation and capture or elimination of paranormal threats. The psych division focuses on diplomacy and observation, and Ptolemy is the support division, handling logistics, management, and research into the paranormal. GOC operatives mostly utilize technology and weaponry that is readily available to militaries and other organizations, so that it wouldn't cause any concern if lost in the field. But they do occasionally use tech that comes from paranormal research to better aid in eliminating anomalous
That's what I'm
threats.
saying. Like, do they use
These
SCPs
advanced
also?
pieces of technology also include combat and infiltration suits that incorporate bullet-resistant nanofibers, augmented
they just
reality
straight up
systems, cloaking devices,
Soldiers,
or
like
even
military
full-body
soldiers.
exoskeletons. Field agents are fully prepared to tackle the various threats they might encounter, and are capable of taking down highly dangerous anomalies, such as those capable of regeneration, shape-shifting, or even bending reality. Despite this preparation, however, capturing and eliminating anomalous entities is no easy feat.
Yeah, some of them are
GOC
like,
operatives
there's
are
some
fully
of them
aware
that are like
how likely
immortal.
their deaths are. So far, everything seems fairly logical. A well-funded, well-trained organization that have spent decades investigating and eliminating paranormal threats. So why doesn't the SCP Foundation adopt a similar methodology? To answer that, we'll have to look at a few specific examples, when the GOC especially
I heard
messed
about the
things up.
chair. The chair?
Likely the most relevant example is SCP-1609, a pile
Is
of
this the
wood
chair?
splinters, nails, and scraps of fabric, currently contained by the SCP Foundation. Originally,
Yeah, this is the chair.
1609 was a large chair carved in the form of a reclining woman that would detect when anyone in an unknown radius around it needed to sit
See,
down.
I
and
don't
didn't
know
have a
why they
comfortable
needed to
seat
destroy
nearby.
this. I guess there's no exception when it comes to
Chair would then
GOC, huh?
teleport to them and remain there until someone else needed a seat. This was the extent of its anomalous properties.
this is
The
harmless.
GOC managed to capture it and send it through a wood chipper. As a teleporting
Why
chair
wood chipper, bro?
easily
You could
risk
just burn
breaking
it
the mission of secrecy
or melt
held
it,
by the
like
GOC.
put it on a melter.
The destroyed chair killed a number
Like a
of GOC
smelter.
personnel before suddenly appearing in an unused containment cell owned by the Foundation. SCP-1609 is now much more dangerous, and when reacting to specific stimuli, will become violent, teleporting portions of itself into the lungs of those who have angered it.
Damn, bro.
This
Straight to
quickly
the
leads
lungs.
to death, at which point it will teleport back to its containment cell. Things that anger SCP-1609 include wearing clothing similar to the GOC uniform, usage of words or phrases utilized by GOC personnel, such as threat entity,
Damn, this thing straight up
sound
just
of a running
hate
motor,
GOC.
or anything overtly hostile to 1609 itself. To counter this, the Foundation believes that 1609 prefers situations where it can be useful to humans, as it once did
Well,
as a
not
chair.
anymore.
And so they use the 1609 mass as mulch for a flower bed. Part of the containment procedures mention that anyone who visits the flower bed must remark on the beauty of the flowers and the quality of the mulch. The report for 1609 ends with a document from a Foundation doctor who explains that 1609 is a cautionary tale of the flaws inherent in the GOC's operating procedures. He summarizes how it's a perfect example of why the Foundation contains rather than destroys.
I mean,
Says that when you
SCP is not
destroy
as
something, you can't
clean
go
as,
back on your
as
mistake.
you know.
He concludes by saying that
They're not
this
really
is why
clean
the Foundation
anyway.
is
Like
right,
they've
and
done
the GOC
some,
are wrong.
not some, many
Of
and
course, it'd be
heinous
odd
stuff.
for a Foundation employee to say differently. SCP-2002 was a large spacefaring vessel consisting of a spherical hull
I haven't heard about this.
3,000 small pods attached
I've
to it.
not heard about this.
Analysis of the vessel seemed to show that it belonged to the Foundation, although the current SCP Foundation only had designs under development that were similar to the ship.
Is it from the
The
future?
vessel had come from an unknown location, and apparently went through some sort of temporal anomaly,
Multiverse?
but was traveling at a constant 12.5 kilometers per second towards Earth. This information and other basic details were relayed to the GOC through a covert operative working for the SCP Foundation. The GOC were not sure why the Foundation had no containment procedures in place for this SCP, but they decided that if the vessel came within a certain distance of Earth, they were planning to terminate it themselves, to avoid an apocalyptic scenario should it collide with the planet.
How big is
As
this?
the vessel passed by our moon, a
It doesn't
weaponized
look
satellite
big
belonging
compared
to the
to
GOC
the
destroyed the
past
vessel, leaving
picture.
only partial fragments to hit the Earth. These fragments were recovered by the Foundation, who also found a large number of human remains among them.
Uh-oh.
The remainder of the SCP documentation reveals information that the GOC did not possess, as the vessel came from the future, where
I
an
know it,
SCP
bro.
caused the global population to become sterile. The SCP Foundation decided to send a number of uninfected embryos, along with some Foundation personnel, into outer space, where they would remain in stasis for 135 years before coming back to Earth to repopulate it once the plague was gone.
135 in a low
The ship passed through a
chamber or
temporal
like...
anomaly, causing it to travel back into the past and approach our current Earth. Ultimately, this anomaly caused their mission to fail, but this demonstrated that the GOC still operated with lethal decisions, without possessing all of the facts.
So they pretty much just destroy... They don't care.
SCP-1522 is perhaps another case of the GOC being unnecessarily cruel in their operations. 1522 were two sentient fishing trawlers, capable of autonomous movement and faster than normal speeds. They spent most of their time sending out modified sonar pings to play with whales, and the Foundation continually kept civilians away from them, mostly letting the ships do their own thing.
Are they dangerous?
The GOC, however, came in and launched harpoon missiles at one of the ships, quickly
Damn
sinking it.
GOC, bro.
The
Straight
other
menace.
ship tried to save it, but could not, and seemed to destroy itself afterwards. The Foundation eventually recovered the two sunken ships, finding two small, partially formed rowing boats in one of them. While it might seem cruel, it likely took a good deal of effort to keep information about these two anomalous ships concealed from the public, and destroying them does fit in with the GOC's mission statement. I don't want to be misleading with this summary, however, and so I want to make it clear that these SCP articles are all written by Foundation personnel, or
Okay,
likely to
that
share a certain
means it's
bias
canon.
against the GOC.
Wait,
Looking
what
at
did
different
it say?
likely to share a certain bias against the GOC.
Okay, the bias.
Looking at different perspectives, particularly in various tales, you find that the GOC are a bit more nuanced than just the common kill all anomalies concept.
Yeah, that's what it's showing
These
here.
reports show the GOC are more than willing to negotiate with anomalous entities, or at the very least not destroy them immediately, and also aren't shy about showing the mistakes the Foundation makes. Since the concept of canon is so fluid in the SCP universe, it's understandable that you can't simply pigeonhole an organization like the GOC into a single perspective. Perhaps the GOC caused plenty of problems in their pursuit of protecting humanity by destroying the paranormal, such as in the alternate reality of SCP-1730. And perhaps the Foundation caused plenty of problems in their pursuit of containing and researching the paranormal. In closing, I hope that this has provided a good enough basis of understanding for the GOC to continue your own research.
Okay.
While the SCP Foundation will often paint the GOC as one of the bad guys, they have also been shown to work alongside them if need be, and there is mostly peace between the two organizations. In the end, if
How long
nothing
would it
else,
last, though?
it seems clear that the GOC exist for humanity's protection, whether we agree with their methods or not.
Okay, on this, all right, on this video or this perspective of the video, pretty much GOC is the more evil of the two, right? Maybe, because they said this is a biased view, right? This one is like, yeah, like for SCP Foundation, when they do things, yeah, they do research and stuff like that, they'd rather lock it up. However, when it comes to SCP Foundation, the way they do it, their experiments, or how they use their D class, or how they use their personal, they're very cruel too. On this one, the GOC is pretty much just how do I say it? No exception, destroy every anomaly. It doesn't matter if it's a good SCP or bad SCP, everything will be destroyed, right? That's how how at least portray on this one how GOC operates, which kind of stupid in a way, but at the same time, like if you see something that's like very abnormal, something weird, or something, you know, it's just out of the world, the first thing that's gonna come into your mind is, what is that? Like, you know, obviously you're gonna be scared of it. So instead of understanding it, like for this one, the GOC would rather destroy it, which kind of makes sense, you know. If you see a bug that's crawling around, most likely, you know, there are people that would, like, you know, scoop it up, throw it outside, but most of the people are just gonna stomp on it. Some are like, a lot of people's also just gonna run away from it. I guess GOC is like the one that just stomps everything. But yeah, I just hope that they added more like things that like separates it more when it comes to SCP Foundation, you know, because they're kind of similar, to be honest with you, but they have just different standard but similar way of operating. Not really, just the military style of it, you know. I think there's like other ones that are different also, like cults, you know, and there's a I don't know, there worshiper of the broken god or something like that. I'll get to those, but yeah, anyway, this one's exploring the SCP Foundation, the Global Occult Coalition. This one's by the Explorer series, and yeah, that was good. I'm out.